Hello everyone, it's Steph, your Vice President Education. Today is my final day in this role and I just wanted to reflect on the past 2 years. Firstly, being an education officer is incredibly tough, and I'm glad I said this after the elections and not before. It's not the most engaged position because we're constantly in meetings, we're constantly reading policies, rewriting policies, lobbying, attending meetings to argue about everything under the sun until we become blue in the face, networking with external stakeholders. There's so much to do. And it means that sometimes we don't get to spend as much time with students as we would like to. I particularly felt this. And so if you didn't get to see my face, I'm terribly sorry, but you're also very, very welcome. We've had some successes during our time together at the SU. One of the first things that I lobbied for was the mitigating circumstances reform. It was originally called the extenuating circumstances, and I said to the university, a little less conversation, a little more action, please. We are sick and tired of saying that this system doesn't work. We need to change it. And with your help and your stories, we created a roundtable in which we revitalized, refreshed, renewed, and re-emphasized the student center of mitigating circumstances. Now, it has not been put through the post-pandemic test, and there will be things that need to be altered and adjusted slightly. But this is a far cry from where we were. And I'm incredibly proud of the work that we put in as a university and a union to ensure that students receive the support that they need during some of the most difficult times imaginable in a student cycle. I never thought in my 2 years as an officer I would ever hear the words no detriment policy, let alone it haunt me for nearly a year and a half. We lobbied not only once, but twice for this policy to be put in place. And we worked incredibly hard with the university to ensure that what we put on the table was agreeable with all, with students, with staff, and with professional regulatory bodies to ensure that the quality of award was robust enough that the public could still have faith in those awards. If it didn't quite meet your expectations, I'm sorry, but we did the very best that we could do. We fought for Wiser. We won back Wiser. Study skills, academic support service with so many benefits, it is unreal. We gave your accounts to the university, and not only did we ask for the return of the service, we asked for more, and more is what we received. Thanks to the amazing support of academics and professional service staff members throughout the university in offering their feedback and pushing as well as we did. And I'd personally like to thank the executive team at the university for listening to the student voice on this and doing what was right for our widening participation community. We've worked really hard on decolonisation, inclusive curriculum, and setting a base foundation on which we can grow and take learning experiences from and make sure that never again are marginalised communities an additional seminar, an additional lecture, sometimes mentioned in the literature. This work will be carried on by the amazing Vice President Education for next year, Usman, alongside a massive champion of this work from this year, our Black, Asian and minority ethnic representative and next year's Vice President Welfare, Odette. They will continue to push on behalf of marginalised communities everywhere to ensure that everyone has an equal identification and equal experience within the curriculum and beyond. That everyone has the opportunity to see themselves in what they learn and realise that the colour of success will never ever be simply white. We've done work on reasonable adjustments, making sure that the university realises that these reasonable adjustments are generally inclusive teaching adjustments that should be made so that all students can thrive, not simply survive at UCLan. And I'd like to say thank you to the amazing staff within the university who have been part and parcel of that task force. And I cannot wait to see this work continue. We have fought hard on academic integrity, revitalising policy in academic regulations that was punitive and making it so that at the first and foremost event of any breach of academic integrity is education and support, and that we are teaching students, regardless of whether they are postgrad or undergrad, transfer or here for their entire ride, what academic integrity means and what study skills they will need. And we have consistently waved the widening participation flag. We have discussed with the university and we have discussed at national level that higher education is not a cookie cutter approach where students need to fill the mould, but that higher education must work hard to be the shape that students need. Students are no longer a cookie that is consistently the same. They never have been and they never will be. So we're demolishing that cookie cutter approach and we are providing tailored approaches to education where everyone can have a transformative education. But I've also had failures along the way. Being an officer is not easy. I wanted to do work on anti-Semitism and Islamophobia definitions within the SU, and this work hasn't been done because I have overfaced myself, but I will be making sure that the next set of officers have that on their agenda. I've not been able to be there for everyone all the time. I've had emails go missing for days and I've never seen them. I've not always been in my office because I've been rushing about. We've had a pandemic. And there are some days where I've genuinely just not been able to come into work due to family medical emergencies, as well as trying to deal with my own mental health over a pandemic. If I have disappointed anyone in this role, I truly, genuinely want you to know how sorry I am. I'm a perfectionist and I want the best and only the best for everyone who I work for. And I'm genuinely sorry if I've ever given you cause to be disappointed in me. I would never want that for you. But I also have a lot of people to thank. I'd like to thank the university staff who have worked with me, supported the widening participation agenda, the equality, diversity and inclusion work that we have done together, the academic regulation work that we have done together, the student experience work that we have done together. Because you are really there to ensure that lives are transformed through education. I'd like to thank the students, the general student body, for their patience over the pandemic. It's not been easy to be a student, and it's definitely not been easy to see you struggle. I want to thank you and applaud you for your resilience over this pandemic. Whether you could do all of your assessments or whether you couldn't do any, you have been remarkable. And I'm so proud to say that I have been watching you do your thing and that I went to the same university as you did. I want to thank my volunteers. I want to thank my course reps who are passionate, who are brave, courageous, and do what they do in supporting student voice on their course level because they believe that education can be transformative. I want to thank our liberation officers for constantly speaking out on behalf of marginalised communities. And I encourage them to keep doing so because they've been put into a position which requires a vocal lead. If we're not vocal, marginalised communities, underrepresented communities will continue to be underrepresented. We do it together, but we need to be on the platform talking out about why, as a community, we are struggling. And finally, I'd like to thank my amazing school presidents who have worked tirelessly and over whatever anyone could have expected over this pandemic. I have two lots of school presidents who are just amazing. You're also fabulous, and I cannot wait to see where you go in life. And finally, to the SU team, to my officers, my sisterhood, and my family from last year, thank you so much for teaching me everything and helping me grow and develop as a person. And thank you so much to the representation team for just being fabulous, amazing, powerful women who I'm just obsessed with. Spice Girls forever. I truly wish you the most incredible journey going forward. I cannot wait to see you all cross that stage at graduation, knowing that you gave it your all and that you deserve to be there. I can't wait to see the markers that you are going to make on the world in activism, in your work, in your career, and in you as a person. I'm so excited, and I wish you all just the best possible. We will meet again soon, but please practice self-care. Make sure you're listening to Westlife daily, and make sure that every day ends with you flying without wings. Take care. Bye.